This is a short video I want to put out about Smite, since it comes up in the community a lot, and there's always a lot of emotion when it is, so... a lot of this comes from the right-click, and I want to present a way of playing Smite that doesn't involve using the right-click as much, or even if possible, at all. So Smite, why do we use it? Why is it used the way it is? Well, the right-click has the benefit of spawning multiple tethers from your body when it's cast, and those tethers will hit multiple targets, which then produces more tethers, leading to effects like this, where you lock down huge sections of enemies all at once. And that's powerful, but we only really care about the crowd control effect, and we only care about stopping enemies from doing their most dangerous actions. Locking things down indefinitely only really has its use case in an instance where, like, your teammate is down and needs to be revived, and that's for the purpose of resetting the tempo of a fight. So when you go down from 4 players to 3, and then you go down to 2 players because someone has to actually commit to the revive, that's a really good time to just stop everything from hitting you for a while. But once the revive is done, you should really stop smiting. So the left click is really what's powerful. And it's powerful because you don't have to charge it, and it's got 16 meters of range instead of 14 meters, and most importantly, not charging means that you can fire it instantly, and it also comes out instantly, so you can weave it in for your actual melee attacks, or even your ranged attacks, as the case may be. And that 16 meters of range is really significant, because that means flamers will always be in range of this smite before they actually queue up their flamethrowers, so you can stop them before they shoot, and the same is true for trappers. They will always be in range. The only targets that you really can't stun like that are these Ogrins. You gotta hold it down for longer. Monsters, also completely unaffected by Smite, and then if you're playing Maelstroms, Nurgle Blessed enemies that are all green and stinky, they're not gonna stagger either. So you really just want to be using the left click and being aggressive against the key targets that you want to be stopping, and just weave it in and kill the targets as you approach them. And again, it's just about stopping the most dangerous function of the enemy. So once, like, you lock down a whole group of, say, Ragers, once they're not attacking anymore, you can just stop. Kill 1 or 2 of them, maybe do it again if you need to. But just locking down the one that you're attacking is usually plenty. And when it comes to something like a mixed horde, where you've got trash enemies and you have elites mixed into them, you don't have to lock down the whole thing with a indefinite right click. You just need to hold it down until you hit the elites that you want to stop, and then you just let it go. Since you're pushing the trash enemies away, when you release Smite like that, the elites that would be in here, they don't get pushed back nearly as hard. So they're just going to be standing there exposed to your team to be taken out by your team and also by you. And since we do have the ability to throw enemies at the end of Smite, what you can do against these trash enemies, therefore, is by using Smite in bursts like this, you can throw them into a pile, which you can't really achieve if you're just doing one whole long cast, because A, when you hit 100, there's no knockback effects, and then B, since the tethers keep spreading rapidly while you're holding it down, a lot of enemies are caught long before they get into the crowd. And that's actually a negative to your team, because now they have to push forward to clean up enemies, and pushing forward means producing aggro for the AI director to send more things to you. It might mean leaving cover into a bunch of gunners that aren't even locked down yet by your smite. It's just generally disadvantageous. You just still want to let the enemies come to you, so you just want to do it in small amounts, and you want to displace the enemy in a way that, once they're thrown, it's in a way that advantages your team. So by focusing on the CC instead of the damage, you get to free up all these points that you were maybe putting into Smite. So you no longer need EP because you don't care about the damage bonus. And honestly, the 50% faster spread, you already get significant spread out of just using Lightning Storm. This node is incredibly potent. It means that you smite less to hit more targets, and that means less peril generated. It's pure efficiency, it's excellent. And since we want to smite less, Enfeeble's not necessary either. So you get to put your nodes, you get to pick nodes that will give you more benefit to the rest of your kit, like your melee or your staff or your gun. And that just produces better results for you. So try playing it more aggressively. Try being direct into the faces of enemies using Smite. Just stun the key target that you need, and then when there are bunches, try just displacing them like that, and then taking out the targets that you need. And otherwise, you still have an ability in your back pocket that you can use just to generate some quick peril if you want to. And I find that, for the most part, this is just more dynamic and interesting. And if you're a fan of Smite, or you're not a fan of Smite, try playing it this way. You'll find that you might like it a lot more than you did before. And that's really all I got to say about it.